Grace and peace to you. Welcome to Morning Watch. I'm Rob, one of the pastors here at White Plains. Glad to have you with us today. Here on a Tuesday, the 14th of the month. Can you believe it? Like, April's almost half over. That's just crazy to me. Wow. Well, this is where we gather for a song and a thought for the day. So glad you're with us whenever you're watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing and all that stuff. Good morning, Terry. Hope you got your coffee. Well, let's begin our time together by going to God in prayer. Help me call a blessing down, for I think our poor old world needs it. A blessing of peace, a blessing of the ordinary, a blessing of national life without chaos and personal life without fear. Help me pray a healing down, for I know how much we need it. A strengthening of the bonds between us, simple respect and patient listening, a new beginning for us all. Help me welcome the sacred down, the wide-winged spirit drawn from every corner of heaven, to walk among us once more, to show us again how it can be, when justice is the path, and love the destination. Amen and amen. Morning, Dr. Lee. Morning, Florida. And good morning to you whenever you're watching. Peace be with you as well. All right. Here is, I always say it's one of my favorite songs. This is one of my favorite songs. It's Treasure of the Broken Land by Chagall Guevara. Well, actually, okay. So it's by Mark Hurd, Heard. Mark Hurd was a 80s and 90s contemporary Christian songwriter. Like Rich Mullins, died way too soon. But of course not nearly as famous as Mullins, but still a great writer, had some good songs. And I became aware of this song when it was covered by the band Chagall Guevara, which is Steve Taylor's outfit. If you remember Steve Taylor, I Want to Be a Clone, all of that good stuff. So I'm a huge Steve Taylor fan, and his band Chagall Guevara covered this song on a tribute album to Mark Hurd. So Treasure of the Broken Land. That's how I heard of it. So that means you probably haven't, unless you've heard me play it on here before. So good morning, Kenna. Good morning, Faye. Good morning, Emma. So anyway, that's a little background for that. But that's what you get on Morning Watch. Sometimes you get some familiar songs. Sometimes you get some that are not so familiar. And, we're talking about resurrection in this season of Easter. We're talking about our kinship to those who have departed, our ancestors. We're talking about those who will follow us. And, that's sort of what this song is about. It's about missing a friend, seeing that friend in dreams, and one day seeing them again in eternity. And it brings up a lot of imagery from Ezekiel, the Valley of Dry Bones and things like that. So anyway, it's a great song. Hope you like it. I see you now and then in dreams. Your voice sounds just like it used to. I knew you better than I knew you then. All I can say is I love you. I thought our days were commonplace. Thought tortured worse. You were outside the walls there. You were relieved of a lifelong thirst. I was dry at the fountain. I knew then that you could see my shame, but you were eyeless and sparing. I awoke when you called my name. I felt the curtain tearing. Yeah, I woke when you called my name, and I felt the curtain tearing. Treasure of the broken land, parched earth, give up your captive ones. Waiting wind of Gabriel, blow soon on the hollow bones. I can melt the clock hands down, but only in my memory. Nobody gets a second chance to be the friend that they meant to be. I see you now and then in dreams. Your voice sounds just like it used to, and I believe I will hear it again. God, how I love you. Treasure of the broken land, parched earth, give up your captive ones. Waiting wind of Gabriel, blow soon on the hollow bones. Treasure of the broken land, parched earth, give up your captive ones. Waiting wind of Gabriel, blow soon on the hollow bones. Blow soon on the hollow bones. Blow soon on the hollow bones. There you go. Treasure of the Broken Land. Chagall Guevara, Mark Hurd, the original writer of that. All right, we are getting close on this book, getting close to wrapping it up. And I don't know about you, but I've really been excited about this. You guys have been very faithful with it, so I imagine it's speaking to you as well, and many of you have told me so. So that's good. Hey, Vernon. Hey, Kenna. So, yeah, last rung, transformation. Very appropriate in this Easter season. Determined. I am determined to do some good today. That was a little mantra that I created for myself when I was 10 years old. I used to say it every morning when I first woke up. I am determined to do some good today. I was proud of this motto. It was important to me, and I had forgotten about it for years. I'm not sure why I remembered it now, but I'm glad I did, because it still speaks to me. I like the way it announces that I do not hope to do good or wish to do good, but that I am determined to do good. I'm still determined. I know you are too. Let's do some good together and see what happens. So when I read that, I thought personally of this prayer that I used to pray way back in college. I started praying this when I was selling books door to door in college with the Southwestern Book Company. It's a religious company, and they would often help us with prayers and things like that. And the one that I prayed, I was trying to remember it last night, and I looked up, but it was essentially, God, I give you thanks for this day. God, you have given me this day to do with as I will. I can waste it, or I can use it for good. And, that's what I remember about the prayer. But praying that every day, I can waste this day or use it for good. And as a college student, wasting the day was always an option. So that was kind of a meaningful prayer for me at the time and for a long time. God, you've given me this day to do with as I will. I can waste it or I can use it for good. So help me be your hands and feet. There's plenty of places you can go from that. That's actually taken from the beginning of a new day that you may have, was why it may sound familiar to you. I had to look it up. Hartzell Wilson is credited for the original, which goes, this is the beginning of a new day. I've been given this day to do it, to use as I will. I can waste it or use it for good. What I do with this day is important because I'm exchanging a day of my life for it. When tomorrow comes, this day will be gone forever, leaving in its place something I have traded for it. I want it to be a gain, not loss. I want it to be good, not evil. I want it to be a success, not failure, in order that I shall not regret the price I paid for it. And it goes on. That's The New Day by Hartzell Wilson. Yeah. So that's, I didn't know that at the time, but where those opening lines come from. But anyway, a great thing to pray at the beginning of every day, right? Another opportunity, and I'm determined to do some good today. So Charleston continues, faith, the first rung on the ladder to light, begins with trust. Faith begins with trust. In a world with so few things left to trust, we must receive and accept the critical invitation to trust in the Spirit. And I cannot convince you that there is a Spirit. I cannot argue you into believing it or prove it like a mathematical equation. All I can do is share my story, my message, and ask if there is anything in it that seems familiar to you. Have you been in the Kiva before? Have you ever felt the darkness around you? Have you ever seen a light beyond you? Have you ever felt like you were climbing? Have you ever noticed you're not alone? The ancestors' wisdom is communicated not by trying to convert you to an idea, but by comforting you and asking you to remember a feeling. Today is my destiny, and that is a thought worth pondering. We know the ancient myths and stories in which destiny seems to be a scripted drama, the epic ending to the saga of one person's life, far grander than what we might imagine for ourselves. But unless we believe our lives are predetermined with no free will, no actual choice, which as a good Episcopal, he does not, then we meet and make our destiny our each day. We arise into it when we awake, shaping it as we live through the day, accepting it when we say our evening prayers. Today, your saga begins. Today, you make history. Today, by your faith, you give form to the fate your freedom allows. Charleston says, this confidence in the final victory of light over darkness is not for me alone, nor not for any one faith tradition, not for a private salvation, but for the whole tribe of human beings. Like my ancestors, I believe we all came from the same place, the same womb, and that we are all journeying to the same place, the land without shadows. These are not metaphors, they are real. We all come from the same womb. We will all reach the same destination. If we can accept these two bookends of hope, we can begin working together. We are related. We are siblings. We are a family. We have a common bond. We are here for a reason. We are going somewhere. We will take that trip together. We will arrive at the destination toward which we have traveled. Spirituality is not a collection of arcane and secret information. It is a simple and practical awareness. Kinship is the clue to both our place of origin and to our place of destination. And when our descendants pray, what a shout of joy there will be when peace finally comes. When war is only a distant memory and the last would-be tyrant has been sent packing. When the earth is a green garden beneath clear skies and clean waters. when the human family knows no caste of power or privilege, when every child sleeps in safety and no family knows the ache of poverty. On that great day, amid the laughter and celebration, our descendants will pause to pray, and they will say a word of thanks for all of us who have kept the dream alive through the dark days, who never gave up hope, who passed on the vision until one day it became the reality of a grateful generation. And the peace to come will come at a price. It always does. I do not try to write about spiritual things with the pretense that it will occur without struggle. The climb to light is hard. It takes courage, it takes commitment, and most of all, it takes sacrifice. Sacrifice is not a popular word in this culture of instant gratification. We don't like to give up anything. We want the luxury and the privilege to continue. Our sense of justice is that these same indulgences can be extended to everyone, but that is not going to happen. That is not the way it will work. Yeah, I'm going to miss this book. We've got some work to do. We've got some sacrifice to do. And it starts with the idea that, hey, maybe we're not so different after all, right? Those words that he wrote in there about the future to come reminded me of Revelation, right? When God shall be with God's people and wipe every tear from their eyes. That's our vision. That's our hope. That's our promise as we live into it, making God's love real here and now. All right, thanks for being here, folks. May you find peace and purpose in this day. Look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for another morning watch. All right. Take care. Talk to you soon.